Well, joining me now from Memphis is Tennessee Congressman Steve Cohen, Democrat on the House Judiciary Committee. Congressman, always great to have you on. Thank you.
Good to be with you.
Let me begin by asking you about the judge's ruling that McGahn can testify. Does that change the window as far as timing on an impeachment vote for you? Would you prolong that investigation if you have the opportunity to interview McGahn and other allies of the president's in close contacts?
That'll be a decision that Speaker Pelosi and Chairman Nadler will make. We're all working as a team. Impeachment is a very serious power that the Constitution gives to Congress, and it's one that you have to somewhat give up your individual thoughts to work as part of a team. And we've gotten a really good team together. We're working in unison, and they'll look at it. But I doubt that it's going to change our timeline. Chairman Schiff has talked about the need to go forward. I think others have as well. This will probably be appealed. We could be shocked. And Don McGahn could say, I've been ordered, I'm going to come in. But I think he left it up to the Court of Appeals and to see if they would issue a stay. And if they take the case, they will issue a stay. I'd be shocked if McGahn came in. He's got a long history of working on the Federalist Society and getting judges approved by Trump that are of a nature that will affect the next generation for years on the judicial proceedings. I think he worked with McConnell on blocking Merrick Garland. And he never was a specialist in regulatory work, but he did a lot of the changes in regulation that will be harmful to our air and our water. And now he's working in the private sector on regulatory issues. So he knows where his bread is buttered, and I doubt his bread is going to be buttered on the side of justice. But he could surprise me, and I certainly hope he will.
So you still talk about going down this path of expediting this process, and I'm wondering if one of the reasons is where the poll stands, where the nation stands right now on the issue of impeachment, and whether that's emboldening the president. After 2 weeks of testimonies from fact witnesses, the nation really hasn't moved on where they stand on impeachment. You have only 10%, according to a new CNN poll out just today, only 10% of Republicans think that the president should be impeached or removed from office, and 50% of independent voters saying that 47% actually of an independent voter saying that they believe that he should be impeached. Does that concern you that the nation really hasn't moved after the past few weeks?
Not on this issue, because this is not about polls, it's not about politics, it's about our oath of office to protect our country from a president who abused his power, to jeopardize our national security by trying to get political intelligence, which is not legal, a favor from the Ukraine president in response for giving him monies that bipartisan Congress approved to protect Ukraine in the invasion of their country by Russia. So no, it doesn't affect me, and I don't think it affects the Democrats, because this is part of our oath to protect our country when it's had national security threats and our Constitution has been subverted. Nevertheless, it concerns me that the public that we're so divided. The facts are clear. The evidence is strong. Republican pundits agree that the president abused his power and that this is an impeachable offense. Numbers have changed since it started, and they might have held even currently, but the polling numbers don't matter. It's a matter of abiding by your oath.
And I understand your point on that. You also mentioned earlier that the party is in lockstep with regards to where this process is moving going forward. But I wanted to play some sound from a Michigan colleague of yours, Democrat Brenda Lawrence, who seemed to suggest the idea of censuring the president as opposed to impeaching him. She said this on Sunday, and I want to play her comments for you right now.
We are so close to an election. I will tell you, sitting here knowing how divided this country is, I don't see the value of taking him out of office.
Wow.
I want him censored. I want it on the record that the House of Representatives did their job, and they told this president and any president coming behind him that this is unacceptable behavior. And under our Constitution, we will not allow it.
And she clarified her comments this morning, saying that she still continues to support impeachment, but in her mind, she believes that what will happen with the Senate voting, that the president will not be impeached, and that she wants this on the record, which is why she has proposed the idea perhaps of censure. Do you think that that's a valid point?
I raised this issue last spring with the caucus, I believe it was, and I was the first person to raise it in the caucus. But the response was that it wasn't a strong enough measure for the conduct that the president engaged in, even at a time when we weren't pursuing impeachment vis-a-vis the Mueller report. I think it's even more so not a strong enough measure concerning the abuse of power which he's exhibited with Ukraine, where the proof is so evident and conclusive. So I think it's a mistake, and I think going on the House impeaching him, even if he's not convicted, is a stronger statement than censure would be, and I don't think we'd pick up any Republican votes either. But
so you think
censure had a
censure's a
moment
mistake?
in the spring.
You
I
think
think it's
censure's
not
a
the
mistake?
politically right response. Yes.
All right. All right, Congressman, we'll leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us, and have a happy Thanksgiving.
And you too. Gobble, gobble.